Hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi! I hope you're having an excellent day, weekday, weekend, evening, overnight, all that good stuff. As you can see, we're here with an Apollo. I think he's about to lay down. There he goes. I hope you're doing well. Make sure to leave in the comments how things are going for you. As you can see, we're back with another video here. This is going to be kind of a whip and chat, but a little bit different than a normal whip and chat. This is in front of me my current, one of my current whips, and it's my very first cross-stitch conversion canvas. So if you've watched the videos, recent videos, you saw me unbox this and then also load Pattern Keeper onto my tablet and kind of get things a little bit prepped for this video. Sorry, I'm looking, Apollo's doing his heavy breathing thing and I'm like, do you need to go to the bathroom? What do you need? I think he's just breathing heavy, I guess. So as you can see, we've made relatively decent progress on this kit. I've been working on this kit for I think 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks now. Yeah, somewhere along those lines. And we're right around 12% completed for this project. So we'll talk a little bit about how I know that and the process, all that stuff. The canvas image, we'll talk about the kind of core details. This is from Peter Paul Rubens, and this is called Head of Medusa. It's an old masters from 1618. This is a 61.25 by 100 centimeter square drill canvas, obviously, because we have to cover up our squares here. And we have 83 colors. So we'll kind of dive into, also let's just talk about what I have as far as accessories, just to get kind of that stuff out of the way. So my tray's from Mooney. I'm using this tray just because it's the lightest color tray I have, so it helps the colors to show up a little bit more. I'm using a pen. This is kind of my favorite pen right now from Enabler's Outpost. It's their extra kind of thick pen. And we've got a 5-placer on one side and a single placer on the other side. This is Putty from Randa's Crafty Corner, and I think the scent is, let me get my tray or my organizer out. Creamy Banana. Still has a little bit of scent. It's been in here for a couple of days, but there it is. I may need to refill this at some point, so keep that in mind. And then my cover minder is from Merry Making Crafts. It's a little goldfish in a bag, very cute. I've got my metal funnel that I picked up from Amazon. And then I've also got my tablet that I'm using with Pattern Keeper. So yeah, those are kind of my tools, my goodies. I also have a pair of scissors off to the side here, and then a ceramic blade as well. Little ceramic blade. So we'll talk about why I might need that stuff during this process. So, okay, and then my washi tape is from the washi tape shop. Yes, so you can see that there. All right, so I kind of wanted to go back to the beginning a little bit and kind of cover how I got everything started and really break it down. That way people might find this process to be a little bit more approachable, ideally. I've been getting a lot of comments from my first couple of videos of like, it's too daunting for me. I don't think I can handle that. I can't figure out Pattern Keeper. So I want to kind of work my way back, and you might get some shakiness. The camera is sitting on the table. I've got like a tabletop mount now. So hopefully it provides a little bit more stability than the gooseneck, but still you can see it's shaking just a little bit. I need a better table, to be honest. This is just a folding plastic card table. Give me just 1 second. I think I'm gonna let Apollo go out potty. He's just staring at me and breathing heavy, and then get him a bone so he can let us work in peace. Hold on 1 second, okay? Okay, let me just take a seat here. Let him out. He did have to go potty. Usually he indicates that more than he just laid down and looked at me. I'm like, okay. Anyway, so working things back a little bit. So what I did very first thing is I went online and searched for old masters cross-stitch patterns. That's what I particularly wanted to do. However, you could search for anything. Jasmine Beckett Griffith, Hannah Lynn, there's a whole company that has a bunch of Enos Guerrero. A lot of those really popular artists that you see either on Diamond Art Club or other sites, they license their artwork to a lot of cross-stitch companies as well. So you are totally within your right to purchase those patterns and convert them into diamond paintings should you choose. You just need to make sure that you're purchasing legally licensed cross-stitch patterns, just like you purchase your diamond paintings. So I really like Old Masters kits, and anything before, I guess now the year would be 1923 or 1922, you're going to be okay purchasing those kits now, now that the year's kind of rolled over. So, of course, 1618, we're well within the public domain here. So when in doubt, maybe try to search for some Old Masters kits if you're unsure, but you should be able to go on sites and confirm that, yes, this is licensed, just like you would diamond painting. So once you've done that, you can purchase the PDF cross-stitch pattern. So usually when you go to checkout, it's a digital download, it automatically downloads, or in this case, they sent me an email with my receipt, and attached to that email was the PDF of our cross-stitch pattern. So you open it up, and it's got the individual cross-stitch pattern pages. I think there was like 36 pages or something like that for this particular kit. And each page is a certain number of our squares here. And we're gonna take a close-up look at that on the tablet. I just can't show you the entire pattern or the entire page because they are licensed. It's something that is paid for. So you have to be careful with that because somebody might be able to press pause on my video if I'm showing the entire page or all of the pages, take screenshots of that, and basically take the pattern. So I can show you small sections, I believe, but I can't show you like a lot of it. So once you've purchased that pattern and you have your PDF download, you can go ahead and download that onto your device. So this Pattern Keeper only works on Android devices, so keep that in mind if you have an Apple iPad or you're working with an Amazon Fire tablet or something that is not running native Android, you're gonna run into some problems. Apple iPads, you can't use Pattern Keeper at all at this time. With Amazon Fire tablets, you have to go through some extra steps to kind of unlock the Google Play Store so you can download Pattern Keeper. You can research that if that's the avenue that you want to go online, but because you have to go in and make some more technical adjustments to your tablet, my suggestion, if you are having to go out and buy an all-new tablet to make this work for yourself, try to find an affordable run that just runs Android if you can, because I don't know, I worry about, recommending people go and do all this kind of behind the scenes stuff on their tablet. It's just less risky to go the safe route, I suppose. So at least for me. So that's what I did. I picked up this Lenovo Tab M8. It's a little 8-inch tablet, nothing too crazy. I got the tablet from Walmart for $80, and then I got this cover. It's a Lenovo brand case. I think it was like 12 or 14 bucks off of Amazon. So now it has a nice little case for it, and it's ready to go. So once you have your tablet in hand, you can go into the Google Play Store, log in just like you normally would, like if you're downloading a game or something, and just search for Pattern Keeper, and that will go ahead and pop up, and then you'll download the Pattern Keeper app. So pretty straightforward. Pattern Keeper gives you a 30-day free trial, and then you pay a one-time fee. I don't think I've hit a month yet, so I don't know what it's gonna be, but I think it's like somewhere between $8 and $10, and that's just for one time, and then you have Pattern Keeper forever. From what I understand, it's not a monthly charge. It's not a subscription, you're just paying for the service, but you get a full month to see how you like it, which is really nice. So, sorry, I'm just like trying to take off. I took Apollo for a hike today and I'm wearing my thick ski socks, and they're getting really hot, so I'm trying to take them off, but they're like, the ones that go up to your knees. So sorry if you're like, what is he doing? Okay, more comfortable now. Hi. So once you've downloaded Pattern Keeper and you've got that on your tablet, the first thing that you're going to do, and you can see this in my previous video for this series, you hit upload your file, and it's going to open all of the files. So let me go back here. Let's see. So sometimes the screen on the camera looking at this screen makes it kind of turn blue or adjust the color. So my apologies if you're noticing some weird stuff happening. Let me move that. If it's turning more yellow or white or something, my apologies. But you can go to the plus button here, and it's gonna ask you how you want to upload your pattern. So you can either select a PDF file from your tablet, which should be there because you downloaded it from your email, if you remember, or however the company gave it to you after you purchased it. You can also import a paper chart by taking photos of the actual paper chart. So if you have it printed, keep in mind it says experimental, so there's a chance that it's not going to upload all of that correctly. The most foolproof way to do it is to go ahead and select from a PDF file. So this is going to open up my drive, which has which is from my Google Drive. So it's got all of my Google Drive on there, and you can see there's that PDF. So that's how you should be able to find it. If you need any assistance with that, you can always reach out to me. I'll try my best to help you remotely, but ideally you want to find your PDF file of your chart. So there it is for Head of Medusa. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back because we've already done all that. Let's see if I can go back. I don't want to load the PDF again. Let's see. Drive. Oh, how do we go back? Back. Oh, there we go. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, awesome. All right, so once you've downloaded it, it's gonna look like that right there on our pattern. You have some options here. You can open the full chart, you can edit the chart info, you can view that PDF if you'd like, you can edit your legend if you need to change colors or anything like that. Like let's say you're swapping out a color for a different color, you can do all of that stuff. So once again, if you need any additional assistance there, just let me know. I haven't really messed with any of that because everything is as is for me. So let's go ahead and click on it, and then it's going to open our chart to where I currently am. So this is what it's going to look like for you. And so what you have here on your right side, and so it uploads, it uploads all of this stuff for you. It takes care of all of it, and then this is what you see. So on this side, you have all of our list of our DMCs that we're currently using for this. And then it has the symbol that it was associated with on the paper chart. And then it also has the number of drills that you have left of that particular color to place. So 167, I have 296 drills left. 221, I only have 90 drills left. But you can see 310, we've got 16,240 drills left to place with that color. So there it all is right there for you, okay? On this side, you're gonna have your actual pattern. So as you can see, we're just looking at this section here. But I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see where we're currently at. So you can just pinch and drag. Once again, I'm not showing you the whole thing, but you can see how much, okay, cool, we can't see the symbols anymore. So if we really zoom out, you can see the entire kit, and we've done that piece there. And so here you can see where it comes down and over. Here it is coming down and over on our screen. So that's how much we've done, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in again because once again, I don't wanna show the entire pattern. I just wanna show this section that I'm working on, and I'm actually gonna be working on this piece down here. Okay, so 2 fingers, pinch, move, just like you would on your phone, okay? You have 3 buttons here at the top, these 3 tabs. So the one with the 4 directional arrows, that's gonna be where you can move, adjust, move around, okay? Once you've aligned your kit with, or where you want on your canvas, then the next 2 buttons are gonna be where you go to next, okay? So you have your little magnifying glass, or your magnifying glass, that's your search button. So anytime I click on a symbol, it's gonna automatically highlight for me which, or all that color or all that DMC in that particular section. So you can see all of those ones lit up in green. That lets me know where I'm gonna put the color. When you do that, it's automatically going to jump to which DMC is associated with that. So if you can see, 3371 is what I'm going to place on all of those ones. If I go and click on this O, it's color 370, and I've only got those few. So wherever you move, it's going to highlight the appropriate color for you. Okay, and then it automatically jumps to the right DMC. So you, when I first started, I didn't know about that search function, so I was going to the next tab, and I was physically scrolling through every single color to find the right symbol. I had no idea about that search function. So whatever's highlighted, and you can confirm Q, and we're looking at Qs, that's DMC 612. I still have 2,357, but we've only got those here that we're going to be placing. Okay, your last function is going to be essentially your edit function or your highlighting function. So that's that last button here, okay? So as you place your drills on those sections, you can click that, and you see that little check mark that popped up, you hit that, that's now marked that as complete. So our number has dropped down by 1, we've placed that drill, okay? So that is how you mark off your drills. So essentially, and I'm gonna go ahead and reverse that. You click it again, it's your frog button. So that is your button to edit and go back. So now we've removed it. If you accidentally highlight something you didn't mean to highlight, just make sure the check mark has changed to a frog, and then you can change it back, okay? So essentially the 3 steps are: find your section that you're gonna work on. Let's say we're just doing this little baby section here. I'm gonna go ahead and search for that first color, which is 645. And once I've found it on in my drill storage and placed it, I'm gonna go ahead and click it and hit that, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and go back. So those are essentially your 3 core functions of Pattern Keeper. Very, very simple. And as we complete this, which we're gonna do in real time, as we work on this, you'll see me highlight, move to the next color, highlight, and soon this will be filled with color, just like this section here. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like when we're all done. So it's pretty easy. It's almost kind of like a hunt and peck kind of thing, but I'll show you kind of how I do this. So another good way to look at this is you can expand your view of your pattern simply, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more, simply by hitting that little arrow. Did you see what happened there? So now we can see a lot more of our pattern, but still in the corner, there's our DMC and our symbol. So it's giving you everything that you need. So if I wanted to search for the and sign, I'm gonna click on that. You can see it switched to that color. So you really don't need this big long list because it's giving you just what you need in the moment right there. I like this view because now I can see multiple sections at one time. And you see how I went to go move it and it's not doing that because I'm still in search. It's searching for all the ones I'm scrolling over. You got to make sure that you are in your move mode. So now you can move, okay? So I like to zoom in enough that I can get 6 squares. This bottom row is a half square. It's only 5 because that's just the size of the canvas. You can see there's my half sections along the bottom of this canvas. So this is reflecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're gonna be working in this section here. And then once I'm done with that, I'll do this 6 and this 6 and then this 6 and this 6. And that's how I've been working on this kit, is in sections of 6. You can do it as small as sections of 10 by 10 if you wanted to really get in there. And that's how I started. Then I did 2, then I did 3, and I kept growing. And I feel like 6 is a good number that fits into the screen and I don't get confused. So this is gonna be this section of 6. We're copying that right over, okay? If you're shopping with Jaded Gem Shop, her cross-stitch conversion canvases give you 1 through 10 and 1 through 10 to mark off your 10 by 10. So in this instance, this 1 through 10 and 1 through 5 is gonna match with that top row and that top row. You see how there's the bold lines? That's your indication of your 10 by 10. So each one of these is 100 square, or 100 drills. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 500 drills in this section, okay? A couple other things to be aware of. You can also change your view to be this way as well if you so choose, if you're working like 6 this way. So you can do that as well if you'd like. I've just been so far working like this, but it's completely up to you how you want to do it, okay? A couple other, or one last bit of information that I want to show you. It's hard to see it. There we go. It shows you right here how many drills I've placed today, 183, and it shows me that I've done 11,550 out of a total of 98,000 drills, which equates to 11.79% completed of this canvas. So it gives you all your stats there. This is nice if you're one of those people that likes to have a finite diamond painting session. Whoops, sorry. So if you're like, you know what, I'd want to spend an hour, or I just want to get 1% done today, then you know that you need to place 980 drills for this particular canvas, or whatever that is. Or you're like, you know what, I just want to get 200 down today and I'll be done. You can actually track that with the Pattern Keeper app, okay? You have some settings here. You can change the search color, so when you search it, rather than being green, it'll be something else. You can kind of customize a lot of this. You know, your selection color, lines, all that stuff. It also has this option to show page breaks. So if you look here, this yellow dotted line is indicating where the page breaks in the actual paper pattern. So you know, okay, I'm moving from page whatever to page whatever. So if I remove our page breaks and go back, now we don't have those, and I'll show you why that might be nice if you're utilizing Pattern Keeper for diamond painting. So let's go ahead and get started. So just note that I would personally suggest removing page breaks, and we'll talk about why, okay? So let's go ahead and search for our first color here down in this bottom corner. I typically work bottom up, so we're gonna be starting here and working our way up. I just like that. I kind of work on my canvases going this way. That way, because I'm left-handed, I'm always resting my hand on completed canvas. So that's how I work on them. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and set this down here. Once again, I will do my best to color correct this, but just know, whoopsie, oh, that's okay. I'm just trying to drop down. I'd like to get my brightness up a little bit more for you, if I can. Let's see. I don't know how to turn the brightness up on this thing. Hold on just a second. Let me see here. Sorry, I might have to cut to a different clip. I just want to adjust the brightness if I can. Oh, it's already at the max. Okay. What is dark theme? I wonder if that'll adjust anything. Pattern Keeper. Okay. I'm not sure if that's still messing with the color, and my apologies if it does. I need to adjust my iPhone settings and stuff, but I'm not going to show this forever. We're just going to do the first few colors here, and hopefully you have a relatively decent look. Once again, sometimes you have to shroud a little bit of this, because ideally I don't want people to be copying this to try to do their own head of Medusa. So I wonder if I turn down the brightness, that'll help you. Does that make things less weird? Let's cover this completely. That helps a little bit. Okay, but now can you not see? Oh my goodness gracious. I'm looking. You can kind of see that. Okay, we're doing our best here with our tools. Okay, so you're going to have Pattern Keeper. Obviously, your brightness is going to be up a little bit higher than I have it now. And in front of me, I have all of my colors kitted up, okay? So these are straight from Jaded Gem Shop, and what I did is I've organized all my colors by DMC code. So these are all done in DMC code, and then underneath it, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the number of colors. So you can see all these are all 310, labeled 4. And we go all the way to our Ecru, which is color 762, and that's the 83rd color, okay? So 3866, so on and so forth. So all of our colors are in front of us, Okay, the other thing that I do is I have my little slicer here. So when I want to work on my next section, I do this in a strip of 4. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I went all the way up until it was comfortable to diamond paint. So once I finish all of this up to here, then I'll either turn the canvas or do something else. That way I can keep going all the way to the top. But what I've done is I counted over 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I gave myself just a little bit of room and I cut this all the way down. And so you can see that this can peel all the way up because I've cut it all the way up there. So this is kind of my next big area that I'm working on. So I cover mined that down. So this is our exposed section now, if that makes sense. You can do it as small as you want. You could just do little 10 by 10 squares and take your tweezers and flip those up. You could section this off with washi tape if you decided you wanted to do that so you know where it ends. But I just know that I've given myself enough extra on the edge here to work on these 2 sections. And then when I'm done for the day, if I didn't finish, I can just go like that. So it's still covered. It's not being exposed to dust, that type of thing. But for now, we're going to expose it and work on these sections here, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I hope this looks okay on camera. For whatever reason, when the brightness gets too high on this, it makes everything really yellow and kind of icky. So hopefully this looks all right. Okay, so we've got our tray and our pen. Our first color here is gonna be 645, and we just need a single one. So here's my 645. And here's how many drills I have. There's 300, at least 380 in here. And when I just need a single drill, you can see it's only highlighted the one because we're only doing these 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's highlighting up here saying there's one up here, Anthony, but I'm not going all the way. I'm just working on these. So I ignore anything up here, if that makes sense. We're just working on these, okay? So when I just need one, I usually just place my finger in there, and the sweat from my finger or the moisture, I can usually pick up one or a few drills at a time. So I've got my one drill. Give it that little shake so it is facet side up, and we place. Boom, there's our one drill. So we're gonna go to our highlighting or our editing button. We just did it, and check. Go back to search, and now we're working on that and sign. 3781. So I'm going to put this away, grab 3781, which is this brown color here, of which I have 636. And I can see here in my 6 sections that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes you're going to have so many that I just dump them in the tray and then I use my funnel to put them back. But usually when I have like 10 or less, I try to actually count them out. So I've got my 6 in here. Shake them until you get some of them to turn right side up. And then you can see our next one's right next to the one we just placed, which is going to go here. Boom. So when you switch over to editing, it doesn't de-highlight that color. It's still keeping all those colors highlighted, but now I can go in and check them off one at a time if I wanted to, but I'll show you something else. So now that we're done with our ands, our 3781s here, the next ones are going to be in this section here. So how I do this is I count. So, and I think this is how you do it in cross stitch, but this bottom row of this section is going to be this bottom row above the numbered ones. See where it says 10? So that's our 10th one. So I can see I need to go up 1 and over 1. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 1. So that is our first one in that section. See how that matches here to here? Okay. You could also count up from the bottom. You could go over 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 place. Over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 place. Okay. Our next one is going to be up 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4 place. So up 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 place. So there is where that one goes, okay? This gets easier the more drills you place. It's these first kind of what I call like my establishing drills that you do kind of have to count, okay? Our next one above here is gonna be 1, 2, 3 place, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, and then 4 up, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Ooh. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? I'm totally in the wrong section. I was like, it's not placing. That's covered in paper or in the film. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, perfect. You can verify that by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3 place. So there's that gap of 3. 1, 2, 3 place. Okay. Our last two are going to be in our last kind of section here. And you can see that I need to go up 1 and then a gap of 3 then place. So, or sorry, over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3 place. 1, 1, 2, 3 place. Okay. And then from here, we can see that for this one, we need to go up 2 and over. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 place. And this will go, when you're just starting out, I would suggest just doing one 10 by 10 section at a time. As you get more comfortable and confident, then you can increase the amount of counting. But we could just work on this one section if we wanted to. So 1, 2, I need that gap of 2, and then 1, 2, 3 place. 1, 2, 3 place. Boom. So now what we've done is we've just made a representation of those 5 drills right here, but we had already highlighted this. So each of these quadrants, Pattern Keeper automatically breaks them up or each of these squares automatically breaks them up. So what the nice thing that you can do is, let's say this entire thing was all one color or majority one color. You're just gonna press and hold on that drill or on that color that you've placed, and you're gonna hit select all unfinished highlighted stitches in square. And it highlights, oh, why didn't it highlight that one? That's weird. Oh, okay. Wait. All right, hold on. So let's try it again. Boom, boom, and boom. So we hit check, it's highlighted them all. What it's doing, why it didn't highlight this one, is if we go back and show our page breaks, these 2 drills are in between the page break. So it considers the page break also a separation line. Guess it probably makes sense for cross stitch, but for diamond painting, it would have been nice if it would highlight them all if you remove the page lines, but it won't. So keep that in mind. The reason I like to remove the page lines, like I mentioned before, is sometimes that can trip me up where I start accidentally counting from that dotted line as opposed to the bold line. So that's why I like to just get rid of it, because it's not really necessary if you're using this for diamond painting and you're not referring to pages. Okay, so now that we're done with that color, we're gonna go back to our search function, hit our next color, which is that hashtag color 839. We go into our edit, and it looks like we just have that one, because remember, we're not worried about the stuff up here right now. We're just focusing on these. So we're gonna grab our next color. Let me put this one away. That's 839. And we just need the one. So I'm gonna get my sweaty little finger in there. Get my single drill, get my diamond painting pen, facet side up, and snag that, and place it, and boom. Then we go and highlight it, and it's done. Next one, search. These are a little circle with a slash. That's gonna be color 938, which is this deeper brown tone here. And we need a whole mess of those, so I'm just gonna pour out just an amount. I typically don't count when I've got that many to work on. Okay, so from here, I can see that it's our next one. Okay, and then I can see here that the next 2 are right in between our break, right in between our bold line. So I don't really have to count those. I know that one goes on one side and one goes on the other, right? Because that's the end of this square, and the beginning of the next one runs right up through there. Okay, so I can already tell that. And then what I can do is I can say, yes, got it, and those got it. If you drag your finger across, it'll highlight multiple. So let's say this whole row was all that, I could just go broop. Sometimes it doesn't always work depending on how small you've made this or big, and my fingers are chunky. So I just double check that I have highlighted or not highlighted a particular color. So I did that row. Our next row up, it looks like we skip one and then we place one. So skip one place. and skip one and place one, skip one, place. So you can see I'm just copying that. No, yes, no, yes. And then nothing until we get to the very end. So I'm gonna go and place this right here. Okay, so that's that, and that. Check. So that's how I do it. Rather, when I have so many like this, instead of doing it square by square, I kind of read it across, and that's how I'll do it. It depends. Sometimes I'm in the mood, I'll just do each square and highlight those. Other times I go like 4, skip 1, 5, skip 1, 4, or whatever that is. So you can see here, skip 2 and place. 1, 2, place. And that's it for that row. Boom, done. Next row up, 1, 2. Boom, and boom. Check. Next row, I'm gonna go to the top of the row, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place. So we're gonna go to the top of the row, which is the numbered row, 1, 2, 3, 4, place. There you go. Boom, done. Okay, so then coming up to the next one, I can skip 1 and then place our next 2. Let's do that. Skip 1, 1, 2. So it just depends on whatever makes the most sense for you. Sometimes I will place a good portion of them and then highlight them all if it's long rows, but I like to highlight and check them off as I go here because it changes them from the highlighted to that other symbol, and that kind of locks it in for me, and that's what I build off of. So for instance, here I've just placed those 2, so I know I need to do the one diagonal. So I kind of start connecting them, right, as it is on the chart. But sometimes I get confused if I don't check them off. I'm like, wait, did I place that one, or am I counting from here? So if I make them solid, like here I know that I need to place 2 next to whatever that is. So I can see that there's my completed one, and I just go 1 and 2. So now I'm no longer really counting at this stage, or counting from like the bottom or the top. I'm kind of counting off of my locked in Tetris pieces, if that makes sense. So here I know I need to go over to place, and then diagonal 1, 2. So diagonal from what I just put down, 1, 2, and there we go. I need to change this mud. So now I know that I've done this little piece. Up here, up 1 place, and then check, and then diagonal with 2. Boop. Whoops, messed that up, hold on. Down here. It's the nice thing about poured glue is you can kind of place and drag. I do that more often than I'd like to admit, where see how this is the same as this? So I'm like, oh, diagonal 1, 2. So I come up here by accident and realize I'm in completely the wrong square, so I have to like drag stuff around. So just be mindful of that. It might be easier for you to do these square at a time rather than building off of what's already been placed, but you know, and we're probably not going to do this entire thing, obviously. So I'm going to go, we're in the top row over 1. I'll get to a certain point where I'll be placing and I'll realize I skipped a drill. You can go back and I'll show you right now. So let's say that I want to check this off because I just placed it. Let's say that I get to a certain point and I marked off that I placed a drill, but I look down on my canvas and it's actually missing. All you have to do is go back to your search function, hit that one, and it'll tell you which one it is, so you can grab it and do it. Now, for me, depending on where I am, like if I'm in all this brown and I'm working with like a shade lighter than the ones next to it, or it looks like it's close enough, depending on how much patience I have, I'll just be like, what, good enough, you know? And I won't do that like super frequently, because it's gonna lessen the clarity of your image that you're working on if you keep putting wrong colors in wrong places. But you could get to a point where you're overdoing that and then you are short on drills. So you just want to make sure that you're not abusing that. But I'd say in a section like this where I've got 500 drills, I may have one that's in the wrong spot, you know, and it's not going to be the end of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, place. It's not going to be the end of the world. So, so you can see here, I just placed this one, and now I want to go down and over 2. So, or I could go up 2, you know, it just depends wherever you're working off of. My putty is starting to die out on me. I've had it going for a couple of days now. Skip 1. Okay, perfect. So I just placed these 2. Come on, highlight. There we go. Up 1, over 2, and 1 diagonal. Can you see what I'm doing here? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, coming over here, skip 1, and then we're kind of doing that little L shape. So skip 1, 1, 2. So however this works for your brain, you might be able to, you know, memorize several pieces or several drills at once, or you got to do them one at a time. Whatever your pace is your pace. It's not the end of the world. This is a slow process. So up 1 and then over 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, place. Okay. And then it looks like we're going over 4 and then placing. 1, 2, 3, 4, place. Boom. And there is that next color, okay? So we're gonna go back to search. We're gonna highlight the next one. Ooh, look at all of that. That's always fun. So this is a good section to show you as an example because we're getting a good mix of hunting and pecking and then color blocking, which is kind of nice. There isn't a ton, oh, there is a decent amount of color blocking in this. It doesn't move as fast as normal color blocking though, that's for sure. Okay, so our next color is 3371. So I've got that here. It's this deep brown. And since we have so many, I'm just gonna dump out a whole mess of that. So I'm gonna look, make sure I switch back over to my highlighter, my completed button. And then we've got 5. So there's a 5 placer on this side. So I'm good to go here, boom, 5. So I can highlight all of those and check them off. Then skip 1 place, skip 1 place, skip 2, place 2, skip 2, 1, 2, place 2, okay? Skip 1, place 1, and that's it. So that is our bottom row there. See, 1, skip 2, 1, 2, skip 1, place 1, boom. So we can highlight that bottom row and check it off. Next one is gonna be 6. And I'm just going off of, see, skip, skip, 6. So you're just copying exactly what you have on your canvas. So there's 5 and then 6, skip 3, and then fill in the rest. Boom. 6, 3, 6. Boop. Check. Cool. And as you can see over here, now we're up to 246 stitches and we're up to 11.85% completed. So this is how I do my cross stitch conversion. The next row you can see I've got that 1 and then we already have 1 and then 4. 1, 4, skip 2, place 1, skip 3, fill in the rest. 1, 2, 3. If you drop a drill because your putty is wearing down, that's okay. So we've got 1, bloop, boom. Next, so 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, place. And we're gonna do 2, so 1, 2. I hope you're reading this like I'm seeing it. Maybe that'll be a good test for you. Do you know what I'm talking about in this moment? And then it looks like skip 1, place 4. Skip 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we should have 2 blank at the end, which we do. So beep, check. All right, next one, we're gonna finish this and then we'll probably wrap it up. This is not necessarily meant to be a whip and chat. It's just supposed to be kind of like a status update to, I guess it will talk about just kind of how things are going for me. 3, skip 1 with this kit, and then 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're skipping 5, and then we're doing 3. But see how we have our, what I'm gonna call our anchor piece here? I know that that is that, so I know that I need to do 3 on either side. So if depending once again on how your brain works, sometimes it might be easier to go off your quote unquote anchor pieces than like counting over every time, like over 7, up 7. I just know that I need 3 on either side of what's there. And as long as you've placed your previous drills correctly, you can kind of trust that. So now we've just done that whole section, okay? So now I know here, my next one is 1, skip 2, 2, 1, skip 2, 2, skip 1, place 1, okay? And then it looks like skip 4 and then finish all the way to the end. So there we go, and boom. So now we can see we placed 1, skip 2, 2, skip 1, 1, skip 4, the rest. Oops. De-highlight. There we go. All right, let's do, see now you can see I'm obsessed with this. I really like this. So 1, skip 1, 4. 1, skip 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 2, 4, skip 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it for that row. Boom. And it's nice when you drag and highlight, it's not going to highlight any colors that weren't, or it's not going to let you select any colors that you're not highlighting. So you see these ones that are done. I can't do anything with those. It's only letting me play with the ones that I'm actively working on. But it will let you highlight the ones that you have completed of that color, but you make sure that you're selecting whether or not you want it frogged or I forget what the reason is again, but there's like a term in cross stitch that's like rip it or something like that, which sounds like a frog, so that's why the frog is there. Let's go ahead and do another one, and then I'll stop because it's hard for me to talk and do this at the same time because I'm constantly counting in my head. So as far as content goes, I'll have to keep practicing. I guess I'm doing it right now, but I'll have to keep practicing, or I'll have to be counting and talking to you. And if you're okay with that, where I'm like, so anyway, Apollo did this, up 4 over 3, like, if you're okay with that, then I'm happy to do whip and chats with this, but I feel like my brain is like, focus, focus, focus. So there's those, okay. All right, so that is how I'm working on this kit. So I'm gonna go all the way up until where we're here and just keep going. So my next one will be that D, then the dot, and then it looks like the $sign, there's a Z. So you just do it as you go. With this particular kit, there's a lot of confetti, so there's just gonna be instances where it's just that one drill. So yeah, but I like when I get a good bunch of color blocking because it moves a little bit faster. But I love this process. It's an absolute blast. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. That way the color is better. It's an absolute blast. I have a lot of fun. I just put on a podcast or an audiobook, or I listen to whip and chats or, other creators' content, and I am just here counting and going to town. I typically can only get, like the max that I can typically get is about 1% done in a day if I'm working on other kits, or depending on how much time I have. So that's 980 drills, so it's almost 10 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can get like a square about that plus a little bit more done if I'm going to town. So it's a tiny amount in the grand scheme of things compared to a normal canvas because you're doing that selecting and stuff like that. But I'm finding myself getting faster and faster at it, and I just find it really rewarding to see the image really come to life. Even more so than I think I might get out of a mystery kit that has the symbols on the canvas, because you're not thinking about the big picture when you're working on a canvas that has no symbols and you're referencing another device to look them up. You're just thinking about your tiny little piece here, and then you kind of take a step back and step away from the crafting table and like, oh my gosh, look, like there's a snake and there's some blood and there's a snake eating another snake. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like you really start to see it come together. And it's just, for me, has been very rewarding and makes me want to keep going to like reveal what's next. And I think even with a mystery kit, unless you have like a non-clear cover on it, or you had somebody else cover it up for you, you can still, once you start to put the colors together, I haven't done a mystery kit, so maybe I'm crazy, but to me, I'm like, okay, if I saw the first like 3/4 of this snake, I'm gonna know based on what the symbols are, like, okay, I can see it kind of curves around here, or I can see these or something. But right now, like there's nothing here and I don't have the image in front of me to reference. Like, I don't know what's here at all. I can't tell. Maybe there's a snake here. Maybe it's the start of Medusa's head. So I almost would love to like send Jade 2 or 3 crossed. Well, I guess I would. I don't know how we would go about it. I wish they had mystery kit cross-stitch patterns, and maybe they do, where it's like, okay, you can pick your subject style and stuff, but there's no completed image. So you really have zero clue what you're working on until it's done, you know? Because I know what this image is in the grand scheme of things, but I don't know exact placement. I haven't studied it enough, or I don't reference it as I'm working on it. I know there's like a lizard over here on this side eventually, and I think Medusa's head is kind of like right here. And then back here is a lot of like background, like landscape, but I think her head is kind of like, might start right about here where you come up to in this section. Like it might be the start of her head and then like the face and the eyes and stuff here. So I'm kind of trying to picture it, but that's what makes this very engaging and really exciting. It's much more time consuming. Cross-stitch conversion canvases tend to, from what I've looked up, tend to be larger and they tend to have more colors. This one, I think I got lucky only having 83, but they can get really high up there. The next one that I'm working on is much higher than this, or that I'm planning on working on, but it really just depends. Take a look and see what's out there. A lot of sites will even show you how many colors based on size, all that stuff. I didn't know that. I didn't know 83 colors for this canvas until after I bought it and kitted it up. I could technically go through and count them on the pattern, the PDF, but I didn't do that. I just went through and kitted it up as it suggested, and then I was like, oh, 83. So yeah, but that's that. I'll try to leave a link to, let me make a note. Got my shopping list for DP with sparklers on this sticky note. Okay, so I'm gonna make a note here to put a link. I got this from a place called XS, which stands for Cross Stitch Collectibles. But there's several others. There's Heaven and Earth Designs, there's a whole bunch, but I'll link Cross Stitch Collectibles so you can go take a look. It worked fine, it uploaded just fine into Pattern Keeper, had no issues, and here I am rocking and rolling. So, all right, I filmed a time lapse where I completed this section before we started chatting. So I'm most likely gonna put that before the start of this video. And now I'm gonna go ahead and finish this section as a separate time lapse. So we'll kind of bookend our video with these time lapses. And this is my new main whip now that, at least at the time of filming this, I completed Winter from Alphonse Mucha. And so this is my new main project for the next couple weeks until we roll into February, at which time I will be incorporating a couple of new canvases for some events, but those are both round drill. So this will be my main squeeze for squares, probably until it's done. And then I'll probably be transitioning back to either Cozy Evening or Senorita, all the way up until Summer with the Masters, at which time I will have a new cross-stitch conversion. So that's my plan for my squares, my rounds. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I still need to, we've got laundry to do today, a whole bunch of stuff to do today. So I'm going to be doing some chores and then coming and sitting back down and doing another, 20, 30 drills and then getting up again. But tonight, I think I'm just going to finish up with this section with you all and then get back to my life. But by the end of the night tonight, I'd like to have maybe that done and Who knows, maybe another section up here. Who knows, who knows? I'm not too worried about it. I feel like even though it's slow going, I'm still making good progress for a cross stitch conversion. So, and especially now that it's going to be my main focus, I think it's going to go a lot faster. We'll see. Maybe by the end of the next couple of weeks, I'll have the whole bottom section finished. Who knows? We'll see, like from here all the way over. It'd be kind of cool. I think the camera goes till, where's my hand? Okay, there's my hand. That is like halfway from where my hand is here to the edge of the canvas here. This is about halfway across. So just imagine we've got this much again to do, and then this is probably a third, so then 2 more up. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot, but I can't wait to put this or show you the progress as we go. You're going to see this in Whip-In Chats. I'll provide some status updates for you if I learn anything new, but make sure to leave in the comments if I missed something that's crucial to utilizing Pattern Keeper, or if you have a hack to make the process a little bit faster. Make sure to let me know, because this is my first time trying it, and I didn't learn about that search function and stuff until not too long ago. So things will be moving faster for me as well, because I'm not having to search for every color every time. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, any tips, any feedback on this image in general. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram if you don't already. I post pretty regularly there a lot of status update photos. So even if you don't see this kit on a video for a week or a few days, I typically place or post some kind of status update once a day if I can remember to do it. So I just posted my start photo of this kit. So at the end of the night tonight, I'm going to post this update with however much I complete here. And ideally, every time I work on this kit, you'll get some status updates. So Instagram's a really good way to keep up in real time with what I'm working on. I guess not really real time, but more consistent, like daily updates. YouTube's actually, for me, my channel's actually pretty good. You'll get a sneak peek at what's coming up because of the unboxings or start videos or that type of thing. Sometimes with Instagram, I'll finish this section, take a picture, finish this section, take a picture, finish this section, take a picture. So now I've got 3. Well, to me, when I post, it's 3 days worth of content. So even though I'm going to finish this tonight and maybe this, Instagram might not see that for a couple of days, if that makes sense. So sometimes there's a delay. That way I can kind of stretch it out, spread out that content. But you might see a finish video, and then on Instagram, it's still been a couple of days. So they're just seeing this for the, today was just the blank canvas on my Instagram, but I've already finished all this and I have progress photos. So Instagram's going to see this come together in a few chunks over the next week before we even get over here. So that's how I'm always able to stay a little bit ahead. A lot of people say will say, Anthony, that you're so fast at diamond painting. How are you so quick? And how, you must spend all day, every day doing it. And it's like, not really, because I'll post I did a small shop haul. That's a 1-day post. And in the background, I'm like diamond painting and I'm getting ahead of Instagram's living in the past, essentially. So it makes it seem like I'm making a lot of progress, but it allows me to even take a couple days off, and I schedule posts ahead of time. And one of them might be like, I'm doing a live with Jade. And so now that day's already covered. And the next day might be, ooh, look at all these putties. So it's not me showing progress, but I am still working on it. I hope that makes sense. But for anyone that's like, oh my gosh, if you're on my Instagram and you're wondering oh my gosh, he's able to get rows and rows done all in a day. And it's like, no, not really. Not really. I'm just I figured out a system that works for me to continue to show progress on kits, even on days where I might not even be diamond painting. So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know why I decided to go into that tangent, but I'll leave the links for everything below. Don't forget to subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you feel might take some value out of this content. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and happy placing. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.